It was hailed as a medical breakthrough, a game changer for women. But for thousands of Australian women, it led to terrible complications and decades of excruciating pain. So they're taking on a huge multinational company in the courts.
Their faces, their words.
I'd sooner go through childbirth than live with the pain I live with.
20 years of hell.
It's all in my head. No, it's not. You're actually being harmed by this medical device.
It's as tiny as this, a 4-centimetre metal coil called Essure, a permanent birth control once hailed a game changer.
It's the biggest breakthrough for women for over 30 years.
More than 2 decades on, and Essure has been implanted into the bodies of hundreds of thousands of women around the world, like Sandra Henderson and Deborah Hodges.
And from there, my health started to decline.
The implant's designed to cut into the walls of the fallopian tubes, causing scar tissue to develop and block the passage.
You'd stand over the kitchen sink, you've got that stabbing pain in your stomach, and it's lower, and you think, oh God, is this ever going to go away?
They say it doesn't for some, not until they go through a hysterectomy or have their fallopian tubes removed. For some younger women, that means the heartache of experiencing early menopause.
No woman deserves to go through this. Essure ruined my life beyond repair. I can't get that time back.
Veronica Stephen Miller is one of 1,000 Australian women taking the owner of Essure to the Supreme Court.
We need to be heard.
A class action by Slater and Gordon is representing the women as it fights one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world.
A class action against pharmaceutical company Bayer has begun in the Supreme Court.
On day one of the judge-only trial, these women held each other and wept as they sat in court listening, hoping for vindication.
They're not going to say sorry, we all know that, but someone needs to make them accountable.
The worst bit isn't even all the physical debilitation, it's being brushed off and not believed.
Veronica, a mum of 3, has had the coils removed.
It's like having a cattle prod on the inside of your body.
Her chronic pain became unbearable.
It got to the point I can't leave my house.
Women started making similar reports globally years ago.
Everything goes back to after having the Essure inserted. I didn't have these issues before then. I have suffered with excessively thinning hair.
Essure has been known to migrate and corrode, exposing some women to nickel poisoning.
I definitely believe that I have heavy metal poisoning because of having the Essure in my body.
The reporting of adverse symptoms emerged in 2014. In February 2016, the US Food and Drug Administration issued a new clinical study and ordered changes to the labelling. By February 2018, Essure was cancelled on the Australian Register of Therapeutic Goods. Bayer finally stopped selling the device in the US in December 2018.
It's unethical, it's immoral, it is absolutely disgusting. They put profit ahead of our well-being.
Bayer agreed to pay $2.5 billion to settle cases with American women over Essure in 2020, without making an admission of wrongdoing.
To us, that says that Bayer thought they were at serious risk of being found liable for those American women's injuries.
Kylie Trounsend, Senior Associate at Slater and Gordon.
It's a device that should never have been designed, it should never have been released, it should never have been put in a woman's body.
And here in Victoria, Bayer is standing by the safety and efficacy of the device, arguing there isn't a signature Essure injury and that some symptoms are commonly experienced by women of a certain age. Associate Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology Louis Izzo implanted the device in women.
In the first months after people had these things inserted, they started to have problems. And what they were being told was, oh, you're just getting older and it's normal to have heavier periods as you get older and pains and things like that. But that's not the case. And at the end of the day, the only way that all these women who had problems that you could satisfactorily fix them up was to do a hysterectomy.
During the trial, a part of Bayer's defence has been to lay blame at the feet of doctors, if any failed to perform the procedure with reasonable skill and care.
There's no way in the world it's got anything to do with the way the practitioner put the devices in, because putting them in wasn't all that complex.
You can argue what you like about doctors' conduct. When you look at the design of the device, the fact that it was intentionally designed to produce chronic inflammation for the rest of a woman's life.
In a statement, Bayer said,
"We are confident that the evidence in this case will demonstrate the company is not responsible for the alleged injuries. Women who currently have Essure in place may continue to confidently rely on the device."
That being said, even though the FDA received more than 4,500 reports of women falling pregnant with Essure between 2002 and 2022.
I've got my heart in my throat. They've got their time coming. We've done our time. We've suffered.
What are you hoping to walk away with when this is all over?
Just the knowledge that they're wrong, we're right, and you did us harm.
And those women are still waiting for an outcome as that class action continues.